Hello, everyone. This week, I was originally planning to share a completely different video, but after hearing about the heartbreaking passing of a beautiful angel due to bullying and racism, may she rest in peace, I felt moved to dedicate this video to that topic instead. I've been sitting with a lot of emotions about it, and although my channel is usually focused on art, storytelling, and my webcomic, I also believe art is shaped by our experiences. And sometimes we need to talk about the things that impact us the most. I started liking anime when I was a teenager. Even though the characters didn't look like me, the stories were inspiring, honestly, sometimes life-changing. Anime and manga were my escape from reality. Growing up as a very quiet, shy nerd, I was bullied badly. Drawing and anime were the only things that helped me cope. They were like a little doorway into another world, somewhere I could breathe. And when I think about Dear Ash, I can't help but wonder if cosplaying was her escape too. Maybe it was where she felt free for a moment. Maybe it was where she could be someone powerful or magical or confident, even just for a day. Maybe it was her outlet, the same way art was mine. And instead of kindness, she was met with cruelty, racism, and harassment over something as harmless and joyful as cosplay. It's heartbreaking, it's senseless, and honestly, it's deeply disturbing how comfortable some people are with spewing hate. You never know what someone is going through. A single cruel comment can be the final straw. One thing I keep seeing online, and have seen for years, is the claim that anime characters are white. And I have to ask, does that make any sense? Most anime characters have Japanese names, come from Japanese towns, wear Japanese fashion, speak Japanese, eat Japanese food, and follow Japanese cultural norms. So why on earth would Japanese artists spend all their time drawing white people? When you look at any region's art history, European art, African art, Asian art, the characters reflect the culture creating them. And even then, fair skin exists in every ethnic group. Some Asian people are literally lighter than white people. Skin tone is not the definition of race. An anime stylization exaggerates features for aesthetic effect, not realism. So this whole black people shouldn't cosplay this character because the character is white argument is just nonsense. And by their own logic, white cosplayers shouldn't cosplay Asian characters either. Yet somehow that rule never applies in reverse. That double standard is very telling. Sometimes it feels like certain people need to be the center of everything. Like they believe everything belongs to them by default. As if any presence of black people in a space is somehow an intrusion. I've seen it so many times in fandoms. Black people regularly enjoy stories filled with all white casts. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and we love them. We support them. We invest in the worlds and the characters. But the moment a black character shows up, even if it's just one in a sea of white ones, suddenly it's forced diversity, unrealistic, or ruining the story. It makes you wonder, what is the real issue here? Because it's clearly not about accuracy or storytelling. It's about who they believe deserves to exist in certain worlds. And I cannot tell you how exhausting that mindset is. This is one of the reasons I decided to make my own comic. I wanted to create characters who look like us, going on magical journeys, exploring ancient mysteries, falling in love, being heroic, being complex, being human. Growing up, I was tired of seeing black characters represented only through trauma, violence, crime, struggle. That is not all we are. That's not even the majority of us. Where were the black elves, the black witches, the black fairies, the Black adventurers and chosen ones. Anytime a Black character was included in a fantasy, people lost their minds. House of Dragon being the most recent example I can think of. It proves something we've known for a very long time. Some people really believe fantasy is supposed to be white by default. But magic doesn't belong to one race. Fantasy isn't owned by one group. Across the world, every culture has its own mythological beings that parallel the fantasy creatures we all know. Mama Wata is a powerful water spirit from Africa, and she's the equivalent to mermaids. The Azizi are small forest beings in African folklore, and they're similar to fairies. Moana ni ka Lehua, and I apologize if I butchered that name, but she's a Polynesian mermaid that I believe the Disney movie was inspired by. Chinese and Japanese fantasy are full of spirit maidens, magical beings, shapeshifters, and elemental guardians. Mermaids, elves, and fairies, these are not exclusively European concepts. They exist everywhere. It's just that Western media dominates global storytelling, so their versions became the mainstream. But that doesn't make our stories any less magical. At the end of the day, we should all be able to enjoy anime, cosplay, and fantasy spaces regardless of skin color. The world is diverse. Storytelling is diverse. Fandom should be diverse. A Black person cosplaying a non-Black character isn't harming anyone, just like when white people cosplay Asian characters. And if you don't like someone's cosplay, here's some advice. Keep scrolling. You don't need to comment. You don't need to be cruel. You don't need to attack someone simply for existing in a space you don't own. Choosing to leave a hateful comment on a stranger's page says infinitely more about you than it does about them. It takes zero effort to mind your business. I really hope we can do better moving forward. We are about to enter 2026, and somehow racism is still thriving in online spaces where creativity should be celebrated. When will it end? I don't know. But we have to keep speaking up. We have to keep creating representation. We have to keep making space where we weren't given any. Anyway, that's all I want to say on this topic. If you're curious, the art I'm working on today is a page from my upcoming webcomic, Immortal Incarnate, released in January 2026. Please subscribe for updates and check the description for my website where you can sign up for my newsletter and be notified when the comic goes live. Thanks for listening. Until next time.